Where the Hard Rock Cafe is now is the theater where Frank Sinatra made his New York City debut. Same building, Bubblegum Shrimp, very first theme restaurant based on a Tom Hanks movie, and the new Cake Boss Cafe.
Oh, is it?
This is Water Street. And these buildings up here used to be on the water's edge as the water used to come up to here, but then this is all landfill. To the right, to the left, you can see Florence's Tavern in there. So George Washington said farewell to his troops. Okay, but you see these buildings were all on the water's edge back in the 1800s. And then they filled this area in with landfill, called this Water Street. Okay, where you got on is where the Dutch first sailed in 1626. They called this area New Amsterdam.
Alright, how's everybody doing? You better wake up. We're gonna do right now, we're gonna start Midtown Manhattan, going through the Upper West Side. We're going to Morningside Heights, we're going to Harlem, and then we're gonna come back through the East Side, okay? This is the tour that has all the famous museums of New York, so we're gonna see that a lot, okay? Most of the museums we have in the city are gonna be all the way around Central Park. Throughout a little bit of Midtown where you are right now. Anybody knows the name of the town where you are right now, besides Times Square? This is a place that people used to say, I wish I lived in hell instead of this. Okay? That's how bad this used to be. The people used to say that this was Hell's Kitchen. Okay? Look on your right side. Any fans of Seinfeld here? You see the place that says Soup Man? Does anybody ever remember the famous phrase, no more soup for you? There you go, right there. That's the soup place that you're seeing right now. The funny thing, you remember that show? When that scene came out, made this little soup place so famous that the owner was very smart. You know what he did? He doubled the prices of the soups. You know what New York City did? They closed down the place. They gave him a penalty, and he had to pay a fee, and they closed down the place for a lot of years. They just reopened 2 years ago. They just reopened the soup place again. Look on your left side. I like this building. Look on your left. Look inside of the building, okay? You see the glass inside of the building? First 5 floors, okay? This building was built back in 1929. In 1929, they started the construction of this building you're seeing right now. What happened in 1929? Thank you. What are you going to do? You're going to charge more. Because you have to make up for the money that you're spending in paying for the lights. That's why in Times Square, everything is going to be a bit more expensive. Because they're going to try to make up for that money they're wasting on the lights. Okay? Because Times Square is the first place you're gonna come, you're gonna see when you come to New York City, they're gonna sell you souvenirs. Okay? That's all the shopping that we're gonna see right now. Restaurants, they have McDonald's, Burger King, TGI Fridays, Olive Garden, Red Lobster. The same things you have back at home. Okay? New York City is the only place around the world that in one island we speak over 180 different languages. Imagine the food that you're gonna find, okay? Everybody that comes to New York, they live the little piece of land right here. That's why New York City is different, okay? One last thing before we leave Harlem, I'm gonna show you right now. Anybody knows the name Duke Ellington? Duke Ellington, he had 2 passions in his life, okay? Number 1, the piano. Number 2, women. Not one, women. Look on your right side. This is for me one of the most perfect memorials. Duke Ellington, standing next to his piano, was holding the piano, 9 naked ladies. That's the man right there. He was known as the ladies' man. That for me is one of the most perfect memorials. That's his two passions right there. Okay? You know what he just told you right now? Thank you for coming to Harlem. Okay? New York City, they love this building. It's more than art, by the way. Our next stop. That's my favorite building. The next one, my favorite museum. The Metropolitan Museum of Art. Okay? There's an address coming up that you're going to see. This is the new gallery, by the way, of New York on your left side. And then next to this, you're going to see the tall building coming up. You know who used to live here? Jackie Kennedy. The Kennedys. One of the most famous addresses used to be 1040 Fifth Avenue. That's where they used to live. Okay? That building coming up you're about to see right now, that's the address you're going to see, 1040 Fifth Avenue. And then after we pass the famous building, we're going to make a stop at the Met. Metropolitan Museum of Art is one of the largest art museums in the United States. The steps of the museum, that's the famous part. Okay, that's the main entrance what you're about to see right now. By the way, this is not the original design. These are the additions of the museum. The only place where you can see original museum, if you go to the back. Okay, if you go around the museum, in the back, there's this little red brick building that you're going to find. That was the original museum. Okay, throughout the years, these have been the additions to the museum that you see right now. That's what keeps this museum going bigger and bigger. Because of the wings. The wings they put up to the museum for the Greek, Roman, and Egyptian collections.
Gentlemen, heads up from up front here. We're about, looks like about 20 minutes outside of Buffalo. We'll probably have you on the ground before then, but we'll see. Current weather in Buffalo is 75 degrees, light winds out of the west, 10 miles, and just a few clouds down low, about 2,200 feet or so. We are seeing rain on the radar.